Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Jazzy, the video store Sasquatch here, and we are doing our Throwback Thursday deal. Um, that includes the President movies we're watching, some box office, and some updates or news after that. Um, so we'll just start it randomly. So I saw this one randomly last week for the first time. It's actually from 1996. It's called Suburbia with the U capitalized, directed by Richard Linklater, starring Giovanni Ribisi, Steve Zahn, Jace Bartok, Nikki Cat, and Parker Posey, and a couple other people you know from the 90s movies, early 2000s. The only reason why, okay, a group of suburban teenagers try to support each other through the difficult task of becoming adults. The only reason why I even bring this movie up is this movie is 1996, and I'm telling you, we're talking about the same exact storylines, if not angst, of whatever that we're talking about today, with the same groups of people against the same groups of people talking about the same things, just at the end of a corner of a gas station here with skateboards and music all brought into it. Um, it's crazy to think about that, and how much that movie in '96 relates today. A lot, how all these movies we're about to talk about, like, because two of them were '97, and the one was 2004. Still, kind of random stuff that can happen today. So it's just crazy how poignant this movie was. And if you've never checked it out, kind of generational, millennial, kind of, maybe your parents are millennial, maybe you should check it out. And you'll just see that it's the same stuff we're talking about today with the same groups of people, same same gripes, same everything. How do you compartmentalize all this? How do you expand all of it? Like what is it to actually care? And all this cool and interesting questions from just anxiety filled teenage years and coming of age stories. So I would check that one out. That was Suburbia with a capital U middle, directed by Richard Linklater. Um, so I wanted to bring that up. It's on Prime, so check it out if you can, when you can. It's quick. It's only an hour and a half. I don't know. Actually, this one was a little longer. It was 2 hours. But it's a good story, and the ending is fucking amazing. So yeah. So now moving on to our goal for this month is presidential movies. We're doing 14 days of them to celebrate the inauguration of a new president. We would have done this no matter what, so I don't want you to feel like this is trying to be political. It's not trying to be political. It's just trying to like bring in presidents and celebrate the closest thing to be like, hey, we got boom. Um, Air Force One, directed by Wolfgang Peterson, starring Harrison Ford, Gary Oldman, Glenn Close, and Wendy Crewson, is what we started out with on Monday, um, January 6th, I believe. Let's see here. Yep, the 6th. And communist radicals led by Ivan Korshinov hijack Air Force One with U.S. President James Marshall and his family on board. Vice President Catherine Bennett negotiates from Washington, D.C., while Marshall fights to rescue the hostages on board. Basically, I told my buddy this movie was Die Hard on a plane with Indiana Jones as the president. It's awesome. There's no like two ways about it. I have not figured out a way to rate it, so let's see here. You get 8 years, or how about 4 years? So out of four, this gets a 4 year term. Amazing, like awesome. It's from 1997. Wolfgang Peterson knocks it out as a director, directing it. Harrison Ford, Gary Oldman, Glenn Close, Wendy Crewson, William H. Macy. I mean, you could probably list like 10 other people that you'd know just right off the top of your head from looking at them. Um, a lot of action. It's all into the Air Force One part of it. It's awesome how our president kicks ass and then saves all the hostages. I mean, if you haven't seen this movie and you just want like awesome Americanness, watch this movie, because this movie is America as hell, especially 1990 middle America, when people just love the president. People love America more, it seemed, or just the way it was more, whatever it is, because I mean, I don't even think that they would show a president being so cool today as Harrison Ford shooting up a bunch of terrorists. They had to mention the fact he was Medal of Honor winner. I mean, so we got just like the coolest president ever here. And James Marshall, U.S. President James Marshall, played by Harrison Ford. He actually has a high approval rating. He just pissed off the Senate because he wanted to go after communists. I mean, come on, we're still fighting communists today. 1997, this movie is just right back and right to where we're at here. So that was awesome. What would I say? A 4-year term. He didn't get impeached. That's a great move. That's what we'll do. So wait, now they can do 8 years. So we'll go 8-year term. 8-8. Um, Survived the whole time. Got reelected. What do we want to do? That movie was Air Force One, directed by Wolfgang Peterson. Second one we're talking about here is we watched Tuesday, January 7th. Murder at 1600, directed by Dwight H. Little, starring Wesley Snipes, Diane Lane, Daniel Benzali, and Dennis Miller. A young woman is murdered in the White House. Homicide detective Regis investigates while Secret Service works against him. He's assigned Agent Chance. She eventually cooperates after a man's frame. It's pretty much classic, like 1990s conspiracy theory. Works all the way to the top of what's going on here. Of course, the dude got framed for murder. Can you imagine if there was a murder in the White House? Like, they're just acting like it is no big deal, or like they could downplay it in the press. Can you imagine what kind of like just craziness that would like set off in real world, especially today? It'd be wild. It's awesome. Wesley Snipes in his prime here. Diane Lane, great actress. Dennis Miller, very funny guy. Who else is in this? I was gonna bring up. That was I think there's a lot of people in this, but there's one person I was gonna specifically bring up that did a really good job too. Um, crazy, crazy stuff. This one will get one term, 4 years. Maybe could have made it 6. I don't know. I really don't know how we're gonna rate this, so I'm just kind of having fun here. I guess the first movie will give it A. This movie will give B plus. Let's see here. Oh yeah, Alan Alda's in this. Ronnie Cox plays the president. Tate Donovan's a dude that gives just a bunch of people you'll know. Alan Alda kind of plays an asshole in it. It's kind of funny. You know, Alan Alda is. He's from MASH. He's kind of an awesome wisecracking doctor, so he kind of plays against stereotype here, which is always good when we see actors do that. God, I wish I would have like thought of a cooler way to do it. 8 years, so 8 out of 8. We'll leave this a 6 out of 8. We'll be real. So the first one was 8 out of 8, made the full term. This one, the dude got impeached. Second term, 6 years here. That was Murder at 1600, directed by Dwight H. Little. And next one is Welcome to Mooseport, directed by Donald Petrie, starring Gene Hackman, Ray Romano, Maura Tierney, and Marcia Gay Harden, a U.S. president who has retired after 2 terms in office, returns to his hometown of Mooseport, Maine, and decides to run for mayor against another local candidate. This is the movie that ended Gene Hackman's career. I think I watched it when it first came out, about 2004. So it been a while ago if I did watch it. Just watching it now, it's just kind of silly goofiness, kind of classic like old school comedy in it. They like make sure to point out the fact that Gene Hackman had like 85% approval rating, which I highly doubt is even possible in like any time period, let alone back then or today. So that'd be a crazy amount of people approving for him. And of course, the most popular president ever loses to a handy or pretty much runs to a tie with a handyman. I mean, I guess the movie's been out forever. No one saw it back then. You're not going to complain about not seeing it now. So yeah, he did tie. He ended up giving the win away. Well, technically they both end up giving the win away. Basically, if you watch the damn movie, they all fight for the first like hour and a half for about winning this goddamn position. And the last half hour, it's them not wanting it, no matter what, to get their women back. Fred Savage plays a funny role in this. What's her face from Big Bang Theory? Leonard's mom. Christina Baranski's in it. Rip Torn's in it. Uh, that's what we'll call it right there. So yeah, Rip Torn's in it. He's an advisor. It was pretty good. Honestly, I don't know why Gene Hackman quit acting after this, but I mean, I don't know. I shouldn't say pretty good. It was all right. We'll go. It made the first term. It got its 4 years in a C plus probably here. We'll call it 4 out of 8. Um, it didn't get reelected, even though it was the most popular president. There's a thing about Gene Hackman is it's crazy is he's in a lot of good movies, and every movie there's a certain charisma about him, and even in this movie there's a charisma about him, and it still kind of sucked. So it's kind of a testament to how I mean, not sucked, but it was not. It was just an average movie, which is not something to say about a normal Gene Hackman movie. So it kind of is a testament to the writing and directing here. To kind of just get a nothing movie out of Gene Hackman at the end of his career. That was Welcome to Newsport, directed by Donald Petrie. So those are our president movies. Um, we have 11 more days of it. The next one I'm purposely starting on the Thursday night because, the Thursday night. So I record this on a Wednesday. So the Thursday night that's supposed to play, I'll start it. So then when we come back around for that Wednesday, we got that full week ahead of us, and I'll be at the end of January, going into February for Valentine's Day, probably rom coms. Is what I'm guessing I'm gonna do. Um, we'll figure it out. Got a couple weeks to kind of think about it, and I'll make a whole list, and I'll make sure it's on Facebook before we try it. This one's kind of winged, and then you can tell because I'm paying for these movies, some of these movies, and it's just fine. But I've enjoyed it. I've watched a couple good movies. Um, so the box office for January 3rd to the 5th, Mufasa won the weekend, 93.5 million, 173.7 total. Sonic, that's the first time it's beat Sonic the Hedgehog too. Sonic the Hedgehog 3, 21.4. So I mean they're about right there, 191.4 altogether. And then Nosferatu came in third with 13.1. And 72.4, the two big ones from November, finally outside of the top three, which is crazy. It's a 5-week period where they were just dominant there, and that was Wicked and, of course, Moana 2. And speaking of Moana 2, we are going to bring up the one piece of news I guess there is, because it's kind of slow. I mean, besides, of course, just bad news, and I just don't want to pass on bad news, although I will say something after I'm done here. WWE debuted on Netflix. I'm a WWE fan, do watch it. Not, it's close to weekly. But definitely pay per view to pay per view. It was very good. If you haven't checked it out, do it. If you haven't been, it's been a while since you watched wrestling and you did like it when you were a kid, check it out. I mean, this is literally the hottest it's been in a very long time. I'm not going to try and compare it to the Attitude Era because I lived through the Attitude Era and I just know it's not comparable. But it is a very good product right now. Very good, compelling storylines that are wrapping up and just starting with very high level athletes doing some amazing, crazy stuff here. And to start the era of WWE, they had a nice 5-star classic, in my opinion, with The Rock and Roman Reigns, and it ended with a nice 5-star classic with CM Punk and Seth Rollins. So I think that Netflix debut was perfect. It was a big event, and I think you guys need to just go and watch it, especially if it's been a while and you did like wrestling. Just check it out and just watch it. Watch 10 minutes of 20 minutes of it. Get into the match of Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, and just kind of feel it out. And it was great. The crowd was on top of everything. The universe was on top of everything. And it made the show even better. So that is something to check out. That is pretty much our only news. Of course, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Comment your top movie picks for Throwback Thursday in the comments section. And see you next time in the cave.